Okay, the question comes from Tumblr user Sweet Thirds. One day I'd like to have as much homegrown food as possible, and I don't know where to start. Well, let's see if I can give you a starting point without rambling too much. First, you have to look at what type of area do you live in. Do you live in a super rural area where you have a ton of acreage, a more suburban area where you only have like an acre or less? Or do you live in the super urban, which is the city where you live in an apartment and don't have any acreage at all? For the purpose of this video, we're going to go with the mid-ground, which is suburban with, say, an acre or less of land to work with. Alright, the first step to creating a garden to produce food for yourself and your family, you need to get rid of your lawn. It takes up too much space, too many resources. In the United States, we use more water on our lawns and turf grass than we do on growing corn and wheat. But in the garden, you'll actually get something from it. The only disclaimer I have to put here is if you live in a more suburban area, you might not be able to pull up your front lawn because there might be regulations. Just check first because people have been fined. So you don't actually have to pull up your lawn if you want to put in a garden. You can use sheet mulching. I'm not going to really say any more than this about it. I included a link at the end where you can read more in depth about it. It's pretty much just you mow down your current lawn so the grass is really low, then you add layers of manure, mulch, compost on top of that to create a healthy soil for your seeds. I touched on soil health briefly in the previous slide. The key to a healthy garden is healthy soil, and the key to healthy soil is compost. And in my opinion, the easiest way to compost is with chickens. Quick disclaimer, if you're going to get chickens, make sure you can own them where you live first. So a lot of gardeners and farmers will overwinter chickens in the area where they plan on putting their garden the next year, and over the winter they'll add more and more organic matter, and the chickens will scratch through it and bring in oxygen. They'll add nitrogen in the form of their manure, and they'll break up the larger pieces, allowing the compost pile to compost faster. And in the spring they'll end up with a really rich, healthy soil in which to start their garden in. This is a large example of this in Vermont, I believe. Even if you aren't going to use the eggs or use the chickens for meat, it's worth having a few chickens around just for their manure if you're gardening. Alright, if you're going to be growing your own food, you need to know a little bit about seeds. Hybrid seeds are not genetically modified. They are produced by crossing two strains of the same species of plant. So you take two strains of corn, one for drought resistance, one for large kernels, and you'd cross them together and you'd get an F1 generation plant, hybrid plant, which would be both drought resistant and produce large kernels. You can't save these seeds because the child plant or the F2 generation does not breed true to the parent plant or the F1 generation. You can save open pollinated seeds. There are some plants though that are they become cross pollinated easily, like pumpkins and squash. Tomatoes, peppers, beans, peas, and lettuce, though, are some of the plants that you can safely save the seeds, and they will produce true plants next year that are not cross-pollinated. Then you have the genetically modified seeds. These aren't hybrids. These are seeds who actually had something added into their DNA to give them a new trait, like with the Roundup Ready corn. Which a farmer, if they plant the Roundup Ready corn, they can spray their field with Roundup. It will kill everything but the corn. Permaculture is the most efficient way to produce food for yourself and your family. You can produce a lot of produce on a small amount of land using permaculture design principles. I'm not going to really say any more than that on it. I'm going to direct you to this book, which I'm currently reading, Gaia's Garden, and that will help you out in getting started. hopefully I've listed everything you need to get started. I've listed a place where you can buy seeds. Seeds Now is a cheap source for non-genetically modified seeds. They're about 99 cents a package, which is comparable with burpee seeds you'd buy like in Walmart. BioShelter is a small permaculture farm in Pennsylvania. They're only 4 acres, but they produce a large volume of produce, and they also use chickens for composting in their greenhouse. There's some other links with some information for you as well. Hopefully this helps you get started in producing your own food. If you have any other questions, you can find me at impulsivefarmer.tumblr.com.